When atoms have unfilled orbitals in their valence shell or their outermost shell, that spinning is going to be out of balance. And the way the electrons are set up, they want to create that balance again. So they're going to want to take electrons from other molecules or atoms in order to make their orbits more stable. I think of it like sharing food. And when I share food, I think other people's food just tastes better than whatever food I get. For me, it's beneficial if they share their food with me. It tastes better. However, other people don't necessarily always want to share with me. In my ideal situation, people would share all of their food with me and eat none of the food for themselves. But I recognize like compromising and like sharing and stuff or whatever. Like, okay, I guess you can eat some of your food. We'll share the food. We'll compromise. How much we're compromising, how much we're sharing, that varies. So I may share a lot of my food, their food, or they may share a little bit of their food with me. In the opposite extreme, you should share your food with me. So in my opinion, while I'm eating, you're my enemy if you're not sharing your food with me. You can think of this like bond behaviors. Any type of bond that's happening where it's like there's no sharing of food, it's like you take it all or you give it all. That's an ionic bond, where an electron is fully taken or fully given from one molecule to another. When there's like compromise or some type of sharing that occurs, that is a covalent bond. If something is shared 50-50, then it is just a covalent bond. But say I keep 30% of your food and you keep 70% of your food, that would be a polar covalent bond where you have more of the food than I do. The same is true of intermolecular forces. All intermolecular forces are based on differences between the molecules' electronegativities. If you don't remember electronegativity, I posted a link to the periodic table trends in the description below. Now, let's say I go out to dinner and I eat so much of my friend's food that they decide they need to order some more food. What they decide to order is really dependent on how much I ate. If I ate a lot of food, they might decide to order another hamburger. If I ate just a little bit of food, they might order like a bowl of soup. If I didn't really eat that much, I just took a couple nibbles, they just might want a dessert, like a lemon bar or something. The same is true of intermolecular forces. Intermolecular between molecules. The strongest intermolecular force that you can have is called a hydrogen bond. When you have a very significant difference between electronegativities of two atoms or two molecules, they will form hydrogen bonds. There are 3 elements specifically that tend to cooperate in hydrogen bonds along with hydrogen. Those are nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine, N, O, and F. And if you look at the periodic table, those conveniently all have the highest electronegativity. Another type of intramolecular bond that you can have, you're creating 2 different polarities, dipoles, within one molecule. And so then if one molecule has a dipole moment happening and another molecule has a dipole moment happening, if those are happening at the same time, one slightly positive and one slightly negative, those can create a bond and it's called a dipole moment. Even more slight than that, if the electronegativities are a little bit different but not very significantly different, there may be brief moments where the electron's far enough that you can have a bond created between 2 molecules, and that is called a London dispersion force. So London dispersion forces do not have a significant difference in electronegativities. Dipole movements have a slightly significant difference in electronegativities, and hydrogen bonding has very significant differences in electronegativities.